Brad Sweet next to Tanner Thorson in row 1, Rico Abreu and Corey Day in row number 2, Justin Peck and Cale Thomas in row 3. 4th row is Aaron Reutzel and Spencer Bayston. 5th row is Dason Pursley and Danny Sams. Row number 6, Brent Marks and Sterling Kling. Row 7, Chase Randall and Tyler Courtney. Row number 8, you got Corey Eliason and Will Armitage. Row 9 is Ayrton Gennetten and Cy Lynch. Row 10, Reese Moran and Mario Clouser. Row 11, Corbin Keith and Brenham Crouch. Zach Daum, Kevin Newton, Kasey Kahne. The field. Tri-City Speedway. We got them racked. We got them stacked. And we've got the grandstands packed. Let's go racing off at turn number 4. We are green. Thorson gets a good jump on around the outside, and he's going to have the race lead off at turn number 2. Great start for Tanner Thorson. He'll show the way down the back straightaway. Thorson with the early race lead. Brad Sweet slots into the 2nd spot. Corey Day is 3rd, and 4th is Rico Abreu. Cale Thomas around the outside. He'll get by Justin Peck. Make his way to the top 5. Now Peck back to the inside. He'll throw a slider at Cale Thomas. Takes 5th right back away from him. Thomas crosses him up, takes it back away down the back straightaway. Good early battle between the 12X and the 26. That was a close call right there as Thomas slid up in front of him. Car around. 2 cars getting involved. Sterling Kling, Will Armitage stopped in turns 3 and 4. Sterling Kling, Will Armitage, the 2 cars stopped in turn 4. Kling was running 12th, Armitage 14th. And we did get some laps in there, so that is big. If your name is Tanner Thorson, who got a great start on the outside, here is a comp cam replay if you're watching at home on Flow. Sterling Kling just loses the handle right in front of Will Armitage, and he slaps right in the side of him. Here is the Frozen Farmer pick pint. Tanner Thorson going to choose the top, which is where he got the lead from Brad Sweet on the opening start. Sweet will choose the bottom. Day will choose the top, and Abreu the bottom. Before that yellow, it ended a spirited battle between Cale Thomas and Justin Peck for 5th. Coming to the green this time by. We'll see if Thorson can replicate the opening start and get the jump over Brad Sweet. Underway, Thorson does indeed get a great start. Makes his way into turn 1. Sweet challenge down low by Corey Day. Fends off that challenge. Aaron Reutzel's in the wall. Reutzel just wall rode through 1 and 2 and kept on going. Reutzel runs at about the 10th position, losing spots back there for that number 87 car. Back up front, though. It's all about Tanner Thorson starting to move that car around. There's still a lot of moisture in the racetrack, but it's not going to last very long with this many cars out there on the racetrack. Rico Abreu takes 3rd, but now Corey Day back to the inside. An aggressive maneuver to get by Rico Abreu in turn 3. Corey Day now back into the 3rd spot, getting by Rico Abreu. Justin Peck rounds out the top 5. A close call that last time off of turn number 4 for Spencer Bayston. That car was 4 wheels off the ground. He kept on rolling. He's running in P6 right now. Now gets challenged down low by Danny Sams. Gets passed by Sams. Sams moves by him. Tyler Courtney season opening, tries to get by Bayston in turn 1. Spencer Bayston right up against the guardrail here at Tri-City Speedway. Working on Danny Sams. That's the race for about the 7th position. Danny Sams looking for that first top 10 run of the year with High Limit. As Thorson closes in on the tail end of the field. 2 cars side by side in front of him. Thorson's got Kevin Newton and Corbin Keith battling for position. Thorson underneath of Keith. Got to try and clear him right here. Not going to work. That's going to allow Brad Sweet to close back in. Brad Sweet closes in down the back straightaway. Now the cars go to the bottom, leaving the top lane open for Tanner Thorson. Thorson makes the pass, gets by 2 cars. Brad Sweet also does it as well. Tanner Thorson trying to run away and hide from the Big Cat, who is on the prowl here in the middle stages of the race at Tri-City Speedway. Thorson goes low, trying to get by Sterling Kling. He'll make the pass on the 34 car off at turn number 4. Brad Sweet still right there with him. Sweet now to the outside of Sterling Kling. Tanner Thorson tries to run the bottom, slides it up to the top. Brad Sweet has a run down the back straightaway. Here comes Corey Day. 3-car battle for the race lead. Thorson with a rear view mirror right there, pulled down in front of Brad Sweet. Now here comes Corey Day. Day takes 2nd. Day takes the lead down the front straightaway. Yellow's out though, caution. Rico Abreu, severe damage on the rear end. Rico Abreu with major damage on the right rear portion of the Messina Valley Transportation number 24. Another car pulling off the track was Corbin Keith. But Rico is going to need to take that car to the work area. And wow, that is tough for Abreu. Came in tonight gaining a ton of ground on Brad Sweet after last night's misfortune. Rico is 52 points behind Brad Sweet entering tonight. And now he has a problem. He can't get that car back to the work area. It's so damaged he couldn't make it back over there. And that yellow so Corey Day will have the race lead on the restart. Tanner Thorson is going to be in second. Brad Sweet is going to be in third. Fourth will be Justin Peck, and fifth on the restart will be Cale Thomas due to the misfortune of Rico Abreu. Abreu does have guaranteed time in the work area. It's just going to take a little bit longer for him to get there due to the damage on the car.
Yeah, no, Chase, as we see an aerial shot there of Rico Abreu coming in to the work area. Last year, the work area for this event with High Limit Racing was right here in the infield behind the tower you're working from. Due to some wet grounds here in the infield, they've moved it to the outside of turn number 4. As always, drivers, teams with all different crew-colored shirts on jump in to help work on that number 24 for Rico Abreu. But as they service Abreu, our most recent winner with the series, I think back to a conversation I had with Corey Day earlier this afternoon back at his t-shirt trailer. We both half-jokingly compared Tri-City Speedway here in Granite City, Illinois, and called it the Tulare of the Midwest. Now, I know you've spent a lot more time out there than I have. I don't know if you agree or disagree with the assessment, but Corey went along with it and said this track here in Granite City, Illinois does, in fact, remind him of the track that he loves so much out in Central California. And that's bad news for the rest of the competition when Corey Day finds a nice short oval that he enjoys racing at and reminds him of the tracks back home in Central California. So I want to know your thoughts on it, Chase. Does Tri-City Speedway here in Granite City remind you of Tulare back home?
Yeah, it certainly does. I mean, you got to get the elbows up to be fast to this place, and that's exactly what it takes to be fast over there at the Thunderbolt. So no shock at all. If Corey Day likes this place and he compares it to Tulare, then he's going to be a guy to watch for, and he takes the lead from Tanner Thorson here on lap number 10. So still 2/3 of this race to complete. Thorson running in second. Third is Brad Sweet. Fourth, Justin Peck. Fifth, and Cale Thomas. Couple guys having some good runs right now inside the top 10. Spencer Bayston looking for back-to-back top 10s with the series. Danny Sams looking for his first top 10 of the year in his rookie season. Daum Pursley, after flipping last night, is also in the top 10. Tyler Courtney and Aaron Reutzel is going to be close to the top 10. He's the Durst Dice Roll driver, but remember, got in the wall early on in the feature and fell back a couple spots. We're coming back to the green. Green lights come back on. Corey Day's on the hammer, trying to pull away from the rest of the field. Back behind him, they're side by side for third. Now Thorson with a huge move to the inside of Corey Day, cannot clear it. Day maintains the top spot, almost wall rides down the back straightaway. Brad Sweet sees an opening, goes to the inside of Tanner Thorson, looking for that second spot. He'll take it away off at turn number 4. Tanner Thorson crosses him up, takes it right back away down the front straightaway. Tanner Thorson maintains the second position. Brad Sweet runs in third, now fourth on the restart. Spencer Bayston looking for back-to-back fourth place finishes here with High Limit Racing. Closing in on Brad Sweet and Tanner Thorson. Thorson maintaining a good pace right there, right behind Corey Day. Traffic most certainly will be a factor before this race does come to an end. Justin Peck battling with Spencer Bayston. Bayston around the outside maintains the fourth position. Aaron Reutzel fighting his way back towards the front of the field. Reutzel finds himself in 6th. Corey Day closing in on the tail end of the field. That last time by Tanner Thorson, 1.09 seconds behind him. So Thorson really not too far back. Needs to try and maintain that gap by the time they get to the back of the field, because there are cars bottom, top, middle, all over the track that Corey Day needs to deal with. Corey Day gets by the first slower car. It's Kevin Newton. Last time by, it's now a 1.2 second. This time by, Corey Day, I believe, lost some ground to Tanner Thorson. Thorson now back to 1.1. Car into the infield. Zach Daum will call it a night as Corey Day makes it by another slower car. It's Sterling Clay, but now the cars are going to get tougher. They're all in his racing line. Halfway home here in this main event, 15 down, 15 to go for Corey Day. The top 5 have kind of spread themselves out from each other. But now with the traffic, it's going to be an accordion effect. They're all going to get closer and closer. Close call right there for Day. Had to do the diamond line off of turn number 4. That allows Tanner Thorson to try and close in. Corey Day makes the pass on Reese Moran. That time by still a 1.1 second lead for your race leader. Here comes Spencer Bayston to the outside of Brad Sweet. Racing for the 3rd spot. Now Sweet to the inside of Thorson. 3-car battle for 2nd. Sweet up across the racetrack. Gets by 2 cars right there, including the lap car. Oh, look out in the front straightaway. Reese Moran around. Reese Moran around on the front straightaway. And the caution comes out. Reese Moran had just gone a lap down to the leaders, was running 18th at the time. We'll take a look at the comp cams replay here on Flo. Had just gotten, Brad Sweet goes by basically 3 cars right here. Bayston, Thorson, and Moran, and coming off the corner, Moran's car, he gets sideways, and it looked like Thorson and Bayston were both waiting on him for a while to get back under control. And it just took too long, and then Moran gets tapped from behind, and he will have to rejoin at the tail of the field. There's a little fake there. He'll go to the top. Brad to the bottom, Spencer to the top. Peck will go to the top as well. That'll put Thorson back to the inside of the 2nd row. Coming back to green. Still a lot can happen here. Just over 10 laps to go. In the feature event at Tri-City Speedway, Corey Day is on the hammer off of turn number 4 back to green. Oh, problem, Aaron Reutzel. Reutzel got the tractor tire on the restart, and he is stopped in the infield in turn 4. Aaron Reutzel hit the tractor tire that is above his car on your screen right now. Did not hit the one that is in front. He clipped that one on the restart behind the car. You cannot see it on the screen right now, but he got up in the air, and I think the front end may be broken, and clipped the tire that is now closest to his car. We'll see the comp cams replay right here. Reutzel, gold and black car, and right there, clipped the tire. And then, yeah, he does hit that other tractor tire as well. So that will give us a single file restart coming up. The orange cone on the front stretch, race fans. If you are not familiar, that cone, drivers cannot pass each other before that cone. They cannot hit that cone, and they cannot go below that cone. If any of those infractions take place, they will be penalized. So just over 10 laps to go here in the main event. Corey Day now does not have to deal with anybody next to him for the restart, but that should allow them to catch traffic a little bit sooner than maybe they would have. Green lights come on as Corey Day rooster tails off the wall on the restart, back underway. Keeping an eye on Spencer Bayston as he goes to the top, trying to get a run on the number 49 of Brad Sweet. Back behind him, Justin Peck, trying to fold off a charge with the 88 car of Tanner Thorson. Thorson goes low in turn number 3. He's going to slide up the banking, but cannot make it. Peck shrugs him off the corner. Justin Peck still running in 4th, looking for yet another top 5 finish. Back-to-back top 5s would be the case for Justin Peck. Corey Day trying to put laps in the books. Car off the pace, front straightaway. Spencer Bayston's into the wall, and he is slow. Man, oh man, Bayston running in 3rd, looking for his first podium of the year. And that car has a ton of rear end damage. Did not see what happened, just kind of saw him coming off of the wall and then slowly stopping. Did not see what started that. And you can see he had the steering wheel off, now put it back on. Kubota Highland Racing officials on the scene to check out the damage. So we'll take a look at a replay here on the comp cams replay. Going to have 2 different angles for you. Here is the speed shot right at the edge of the corner. You see it right there, and bam! Just wallpapered it right there off of turn 4. And here's another angle of it. Bayston right there. And that's similar to what we saw Brent Marks do last year when he was leading this race. Marks did have some damage to the car, but he was able to hang on for the win. But a very similar incident right there where the wall ends in turn number 4 where the cars come onto the racetrack. And Spencer Bayston, it caused a lot of damage. Looks like an issue for Daum Pursley. Pursley might have a flat right rear. And also, Cale Thomas headed back to the pit area. There's Daum Pursley. We'll see if that is the case, and it is. Flat right rear. On the Avanti Windows and Doors 13, he was running inside the top 5. Well, was going to be with the problem for Bayston. Pursley was going to restart 5th. Was put on a really good show in the heat race. Had come from 8th to 3rd. Looking like the guy that might get our Rod and Supply hard charger tonight is Tyler Courtney. He started back in the, what looks to be the 14th position. With all these incidents, he's now up to 5th in the NOS Energy Drink 7 BC. Getting a look at the work area right now. There's Daum Pursley on the left and Cale Thomas on the right. There's no point in even, well, I guess there is a point to try and work on it, but the damage looked like there was no way they were going to get done with, especially with no guaranteed time for the Jason Myers Racing 14. But the Jason Myers Racing 14 BC is right up there at the front of the field for the restart, which is about to happen. Brad Sweet, Justin Peck, Tanner Thorson, Tyler Courtney, the top 5. And we are back to green. Corey Day will ride the cushion on the restart down the front straightaway. Top 3 already breaking away. Brad Sweet goes to the middle. Justin Peck to the bottom. Corey Day to the top. 3 lanes being used right there in turns 1 and 2. Tanner Thorson's into the wall in the back straightaway. Tyler Courtney goes by. Tyler Courtney up to 4th, and now Chase Randall in the top 5. A big mistake there from Tanner Thorson. He might have damage on the car. Thorson is slowed down the front straightaway. Tanner Thorson got the wall in turn 2, and he's got a flat right rear as well. So your early race leader, outside pole sitter, Tanner Thorson, got into the wall in turn 2 on the restart. He has a flat right rear, and the Rod Gross Motorsports team is going to have to get to work here. As Tony just mentioned, no guaranteed time, so it's going to need to be a very quick change. Well, lights are out. It does not appear that the repairs have been made for either driver in time. So we are now coming back to green with 10 laps to go. Corey Day looking for his 2nd win of the year and 1st since Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the season opener. We're back to green. Great restart for Justin Peck. Pulls to the left rear of Brad Sweet. Sweet sees him now, slams the door in his face into turn 1. Brad Sweet maintains that 2nd spot. Back behind him, there's cars all over the racetrack, biking up on the cushion, trying to run the bottom as well, is Cy Lynch as he gets passed by Kasey Kahne. Kasey Kahne now working on the 2KS of Corey Eliason off of turn number 4. Eliason gets back by him. You're looking at a battle between Brett Marks, Chase Randall, and Tyler Courtney. That's around the 5th position. Marks is in 5th. Chase Randall trying to get another top 10 finish, or another top 5 finish on the season. Up front, it's all about Corey Day. Might get the traffic once again, but Brad Sweet's going to need to be a little bit closer once they get the traffic to try and make a move on him. Day absolutely manhandling that number 14 BC up on the top side of this racetrack. It is cowboy up if you want to run the cushion here tonight at Tri-City Speedway. Corey Day now to the outside of Kevin Newton, makes the pass on him, as does Brad Sweet. That time by Brad Sweet, he did in fact close the gap on your race leader, under 1 second, 9/10 in fact the last time by. Now cars in the racing lane of Corey Day. Day gets sideways, Brad Sweet on the cushion, might have a race to lead down the front straightaway. Side by side across the line. Brad Sweet now to the outside. Corey Day trying to slide in front of Mario Clouser. He'll put a lap down on car number 6. That time by, 5 laps to go. Brad Sweet trying to get underneath of Mario Clouser. Now no lap cars between your top 2. Justin Peck lurking back in the 3rd spot as well. Down the front straightaway, Day shoots to the inside of Brenham Crouch. Will put a lap down on the CJB Motorsports number 5. Brad Sweet still close. Can he do something here in the final couple of laps? Looks to the inside in turn 3. Gets to the cushion, hits the wall. Brad Sweet just clobbered the fence in turn 4. Car continues on. Day to the inside of Sterling Kling. He is starting to ride away. That time by 1.1 second the gap from the 14 BC to the 49. Corey Day, a couple of laps here to gather things in. Couple of clean laps without lap traffic. Brad Sweet, 1.2 seconds back. Next time by. With a white flag here for Corey Day. Day on the back bumper of Daum Pursley. 1 lap to go for car number 14 BC. Goes to the inside of Daum Pursley. Dispatches of him. Back straightaway for the final time. And for the first time since Las Vegas at the season opener, Corey Day is back in victory lane with Kubota. High-level racing happens here tonight at Tri-City Speedway. Brad Sweet ends up in second. Justin Peck third. Fourth goes to Tyler Courtney, and fifth will be Brent Marks. That track was right up his alley, and he takes full advantage of it here tonight. Corey Day gets the win in the 14 BC. Brad Sweet ends up in second. Justin Peck finishes up third. Tyler Courtney fourth, and fifth is Brent Marks. Chase Randall, Danny Sams, Kasey, Kahne, Ayrton Gennetten, and Corey Eliason in the top 10. Danny Sams, his best finish of the year right there with that seventh place finish. Lynch, Jason Pursley, Mario Clouser, Sterling Kling, Kevin Newton, and Brenham Crouch, the final cars on the racetrack back in 16th. He's got the Hoosier Tire neckband. He'll get the Jason Myers Racing hat, the Sunoco Race Fuels checkered flag. He's going to climb up top. How about it, race fans, for payday, Corey Day. His second win of 2025 with Kubota High-Limit Racing on a track that was right up his wheelhouse, Tony.
You can say that again, Chase, and I don't even know exactly what a wheelhouse is. We're going to ask Corey Day if he knows what a wheelhouse is. Was that track up your wheelhouse here tonight in Granite City, Illinois? And if so, do you know what a wheelhouse even is?
Well, I think that was my wheelhouse, if my definition is correct of it. Yeah, that was awesome. You know, I was really, really glad to see it take rubber there at the end of the race. I was terrible off turn 4, and that just kind of gave me the security I needed to, you know, Brad's usually really good in the slick, and we're not. So gave me the security that I needed to be comfortable.
What kind of racetrack was this tonight, other than the kind you like to race on so very much?
It was fun. I mean, you know, when I rolled in here today and saw these I guess, built-in bumps around this place. They weren't, you know, developed by the race cars. They were here before we got on it. I was excited. This is, you know, the stuff I love. I love, you know, being right next to the wall and bouncing around and uncomfortable or comfortable where everyone else is uncomfortable. So, you know, big thanks to Wayne and HP and Lucas for working so hard. We didn't, you know, have a good night last night, and honestly didn't feel amazing until right there. So, feels really good to, you know, work on it and put our minds together and end up on top. So big thanks to Preston and Jason at home for, like I keep saying, building me a second team. It's, you know, not easy, it's not cheap, and you know, I'm just super fortunate to have good car owners that can, you know, do that for me.
Now, HP, I know he had a heck of a time getting out here from California back before Texas. Unfortunately, I don't know where Lucas calls home. I apologize. I'll work on that. But I want to talk about Wayne Pretty. There's not much of a cooler guy in the sport of sprint car racing. You're still young and up and coming, I think, at the ripe old age of 19 years old. What's it been like to work with a guy as calm, cool, and funny as Wayne Pretty on a winning race car?
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, Wayne and I had known each other from years past, just, you know, seeing each other in the pits and BSing together. And, you know, I always thought it'd be super cool to go racing with him. He's, like you said, you know, funny and, you know, takes stuff lightheartedly. Doesn't, you know, gets mad when we're not good, which I like, but he's upbeat other than that. And I kind of feel like I'm the same way. So I feel like, you know, we got a really good pairing. And, you know, luckily we ran out, you know, on the road full time last year. So we got a really good notebook to go off of as well. So, yeah, just, you know, pumped to get another one. I was, you know, like I said, really, really mad at my performance last night. I feel like I could have done more in the race car. And, you know, just shows if I get a night under my belt and racing back-to-back, I can be right back up to pace. So, you know, thank you to Myers Constructors, Ford Seas Construction, Sander Engineering, Factory Cane Shocks, Paul Kistler, KPC Chassis, K1 Race Gear, Rye Helmets, FK Roddens, just, you know, everyone on the 14 this year that supports this group. It's, you know, bigger than it was last year. And like I said before, it's not easy, it's not cheap. And, you know, all those great partners allow us to come do this.
Hey, before you know it, you're going to have to start throwing some checkered flag logos on those new Payday T-shirts.
I know. We got to get something else going.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, for the second time in 2025, why don't you welcome him to victory lane? That's Payday, Corey Day. And as he celebrates, he's got the Chasm Safety Technologies win sticker. He's going to clean off a spot on that dirty and dusty tail tank of the 14 BC, but our thanks to Chasm Safety Technologies, not just for keeping these drivers and teams safe who use their equipment for but for supplying the win sticker to every winner here in 2025. Chase, up to you.
Yep, thank you, Tony. Did want to talk about our Contingency Award winners here tonight. Kasey Kahne was tonight's Rod and Supply Hard Charger Award winner. He went 25th to 8th for a plus 17 run for him. Then we also have the Jake's Golf Carts Fastest Lap Award. That went to Tanner Thorson on lap 1. He ran a 13.602 second time. That was good enough for the Jake's Golf Carts Fastest Lap. And the Race Routine Foundation Rookie of the Race went to... Let's double check. I believe it was Chase Randall, and that is indeed the case. Chase Randall with a 6th place run here this evening. Race Routine Foundation Rookie of the Race. Back to you, Tony.
Chase, I was afraid you were going to say I was the Race Routine Foundation Rookie of the Race. Brad Sweet starts up front, finishes up front, albeit one spot back. You told me back in the pit area this sport and your success in it is not defined by the good nights, but how you do after the bad nights. Your first DNF in high limit history came last night. Do you think you rebounded the way you needed to here tonight?
Yeah, you just put the past as the past, and you're always looking forward. And that's the beauty of a dirt track sprint car racing is there's always a new race the next day. So the guys did a great job, having to strip a car last night, getting over here, 4-hour drive, bringing a backup car out and not missing a beat. So just a testament to the whole team to overcome the adversity from last night and the crash in and, things that were out of our control. But yeah, Corey did a great job. I just, made a few mistakes early in the race and lost the track position and didn't really want to get behind Corey. I knew he was probably going to be one of the guys to beat the way the track was. It was kind of more of a Corey Day track than a Brad Sweet track. But I had a lot of fun. It was definitely, we were pounding the wall there and a couple sketchy moments. Kind of wish that we could have gotten to lap traffic a little more. Had one shot there late in the race with Corey. He did a good job kind of protecting the line and getting by the next lap car. Otherwise, I think I would have had a better shot. But hit the wall, knocked the ladder out of it, and then limped her to the finish. So we'll take a second tonight and head over to Kokomo on Monday.
Hey, no ladder, no problem. Brad Sweet starts first and finishes second here tonight at Tri-Cities Speedway. Ty Wolfgang lets out a nervous breath after that one. Justin Peck, don't talk to Tyler Tessmaker, talk to me. Second trip to the podium in as many nights. Last night you go 8th to 3rd. Tonight, a little bit easier. You go 4th to 3rd, but that racetrack out there did not seem very easy to drive. What was it like behind the wheel of the 26?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cowboy up, but it's like a technical cowboy up, right? Because it's so slick up to that rougher area, and then it's got grip up there also, and then it got so thin off of 4, like it was hard to try and run it, but without smacking the fence. It seems like it's a short porch coming off of 4. It almost comes out and grabs you, but I think the racetrack was pretty cool-ish. Like it was a really cool racetrack, I'm sure, to watch, like being up on the fence and stuff like that. I almost wish if we could have just kept the bottom just that little bit grippier on entry throughout the race. I think you could have seen maybe a couple more, sliders that stuck. But all in all, I mean, it's a fun racetrack to drive, and hopefully we get to come back next year and bring the Skagit Speedway Routine Racing 26 back and put it in victory lane.
A technical cowboy up kind of track, grippy and pretty coolish. You got some sound bites in you. We need to see you on the podium a little bit more often. I hope Justin Peck thinks I'm pretty coolish after a season or two of racing on the road with Kubota high limit racing. I fall back on what Brad Sweet talked about in the pit area earlier, Chase, this sport and your success in it. You're not defined by your good nights. Instead, you're defined by how you do and how you bounce back after your not so good nights. What's eerie about Brad telling me that in the pit area earlier tonight? James McFadden told me the exact same thing, essentially, 1 year ago in this exact same pit area, because the night before we had been at 34 Raceway up in Burlington, and if you remember that, James had really run away with that race and lost a nail-biter drag race at the start-finish line to one Bradley Sweet. So guys like that know it's all about how you finish, not how you start, especially in a year-long championship.